Murder conspiracy theorists say that it does not make sense for Chris Cornell to have killed himself, as if killing yourself ever makes sense. Basic human instinct, no. Basic animal instinct is survival. When that goes away, so does logic, so does reason, so does the rationalizing. Mental illness is real. Don't ask why the suicide, ask why the pain. I've walked across the Golden Gate Bridge several times, and every time since I've seen the documentary The Bridge several years ago, I think about the approximately 25 people a year who kill themselves here by jumping off the edge and into the bay below. Now, why did I seek this documentary out several years ago? How did I find this thing? Well, I was never suicidal, but I felt that I was a prime candidate to become so. I love the Golden Gate Bridge, but I heard about the tragedies going on there, and so I did some research. Now, why did I think I was a prime candidate to become suicidal? I'll tell you. I spend about 95% of my time alone. And that is not an exaggeration. It's probably more like 99%. I am a loner. Now, I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I like it. But it has its stigma. So often, I think that being a loner is shameful. It's just what my mind does. And when something doesn't go my way and it involves other people... Wait. Let's call it what it is. When I try to date a girl, it's always been a disaster. I am 33 years old and I've never managed to get a second date. I've been on some first dates, never got a second. Okay, this makes me depressed and questions my self-worth and makes me want to kill myself. Fortunately, I have the perception and the education that if I want to get better at dating, I just have to work at it. And that goes for anything I want to accomplish in life. Anyways. Now, I imagine the suicidal as having this very narrow perception. Perception is something that for everyone, it expands and it contracts. That's how it's described by Mark Hennick in his TED Talk. He says to imagine being cut off in traffic, how your perception narrows to that moment right there. Your heart races and you slam on the brakes. You feel frustrated. You get that road rage.
Oh, you asshole!
Nothing else matters in that moment right there. You're 100% focused on that frustration and anger and whatever your reaction is to that other driver. Are you gonna give him one of these? Ugh! Eventually, hopefully, it wears off and you return to your normal perception limits. Now imagine that emotion doesn't wear off and you're carrying it around with you everywhere you go. That's how Mark Hennick described his state when attempting suicide. Oh. I am a huge fan of Chris Cornell. He's one of my all-time favorite singers, musicians, songwriters, celebrities. I've seen him live in concert 20 times. Another guy I've admired in the rock world is the godfather of Chris's son, Chester Bennington. I've seen Linkin Park twice. Both guys allegedly hung themselves within these last 2 months. That's how it came to be me making this video right here. Both guys seem to have everything going for them, on top of the world in their professional fields. And I say allegedly hung themselves because in the case of Chris Cornell, at least right now, there's this murder conspiracy out there and his immediate family is under attack. Conspiracy theorists question Chris's final phone call with his wife. What happened to his cell phone? He's too tall to hang himself off the bathroom door. Why did it take so long for the bodyguard to get in the room? Why was Chris's shirt torn? Why did he have broken ribs? So obviously there was a struggle. Why does the police announce so quickly that it's a suicide? Why was he cremated so quickly? I don't have time to dive into the details of all this stuff. I've accepted the fact that I won't know everything that's gone on in this case. Call me crazy, but I trust that the police and the investigators will get to the bottom of all this and they'll let us know if anything's up. Crazy. Another thing that comes up is that it doesn't make sense that he would just kill himself right after his concert that night. As if killing yourself ever makes sense. I'll say it again. Basic human instinct. No. Basic animal instinct is survival. When that goes away, so does logic, so does reason, so does the rationalizing. Mental illness is real. John Neuenberg proposed in his TED Talk that we shouldn't ask why the suicide, we should ask why the pain. I think conspiracy theorists want to believe that seemingly random bad stuff can't happen, but they do. Kennedy was assassinated by some crazy guy. 9/11 was by some crazy guys who hijacked some planes. And Chris Cornell, who seemed to have everything going for him, killed himself. But he was just asking the bodyguard for help with his Apple TV, and then after that he's just like, fuck it, and kills himself? It doesn't add up. Watch this documentary. These filmmakers filmed the Golden Gate Bridge for 24 hours a day for a whole year. They filmed 23 people jumping off the bridge. It's all on here. The most surprising scene was this guy talking on his cell phone, laughing, seeming to have a normal, fun conversation. Afterwards, he puts his phone down, climbs right over the railing, and then just jumps. He just jumped. Just like that. Gone. Chris and his Apple TV remind me of that guy. It just happens. It's on film. So I'd just like to recommend to hold your loved ones close and to take care of yourself. As you would go to a doctor to get a physical, go to a psychologist to keep tabs on your mental. And if there's someone watching this who is considering suicide, consider these statistics I saw in a TED Talk by Shadra Shankar. 95% of suicide attempts fail. 19 out of every 20 attempts, the person fails to kill themselves. Out of all those survivors, 96% are living with severe repercussions. Let me take you back to the bridge. Imagine you're over the railing, contemplating jumping from the bridge. You think about, for once, you have full control over your life. To end it all or not, it's up to you. Imagine that you jump. Now comes the 4 seconds before you hit the water, coming in at speeds of 75 miles per hour. At a 98% fatality rate, you're as good as gone. During that 4 seconds before you hit, you have less control of your life than you ever did. You could survive the impact with the water, assuredly resulting in multiple broken bones. Now you're stuck out in the middle of the choppy San Francisco Bay waters with those multiple broken bones, most likely resulting in drowning or hypothermia. That's suffering times what, 100, 1,000, 1,000,000? If you think it can't get worse, it can get worse. Imagine surviving from hanging and now you're paralyzed from the neck down. Imagine surviving shooting yourself. You hit the wrong area and now you're stuck with brain damage and a disfigured face. Imagine surviving an intentional overdose and now you have daily kidney and liver dialysis. If you think your life sucks now, imagine being among the 96% of those who survived their suicide attempt and are now living with these severe repercussions. A lot of them, suicide is no longer a choice. It's off the table. Things can get better. It just takes work. Oh. I know. Work can suck. But again, just think of the alternative. If you don't think things can get worse, they can. So much worse. But take it from me, a 33-year-old guy who can't get a date. Things can get better. Life rules. Thank you.